Hello, Happy New Year. I'm Manny. If you're watching this, you're on Instagram or maybe YouTube. Who knows where this is going to end up? But basically, I wanted to have a little candid conversation. Nothing too heavy. It's just promo related, right? Because here we are. I mean, why would we be putting ourselves through this social media thing if we weren't trying to promote something? So there's two ways you could do the candid conversation on Instagram. You could do the vague photo with a large block of text, and then you fill the comments with all the body, and that's just a lot of reading, and it's 2024 and we don't need to be reading anymore. Or you could do a video in a big white haze thing with your bird off screen. And here we are. So basically, the first thing that I want to talk about is oversaturation. Oversaturation of promotion, which is what I'm also currently doing. I'm oversaturating the promo world. So obviously, I'm involved in the music thing. I'm going to send Piper away. Okay, say hi, Piper. Go away. Oh, she's not away. So I do the music thing, and I'm very lucky. I love it. We get to play shows. I have wonderful bandmates and friends, and it's the greatest thing ever. The other side of that is the actual releasing of music, and that's where it gets really tricky because although like the technology has made it easier for all of us to be able to do this, like I can record an album right here in the house. The problem with that is cutting through, and I hate to say it, the noise, but there's just a ton of material out there, and it's freaking amazing. Like when you stop and listen to like even just like random people that you'll just meet and you'll just be like, hey, I'm just going to check out your thing. It's really friggin' good. The fact that technology has democratized creativity is one of the best things to come out of the whole computer, phone, all that stuff. The downside to this is that there's so much stuff that's put out, so much music and art that's put out that just gets kind of missed just because there's just too much. I mean, like there are bands who I've like loved for like 15, 20 years who put out new stuff and I still haven't gotten around to listening to it because there's just too much and there's just not enough time in the day and you've got a bird who wants your attention and it's kind of hard, right? Like, and life. So despite the ease that technology makes it for us to create music and art, putting it out there is a whole different story. So, as an artist or musician, when you create a piece of art or music, whatever it is, a single album, you have two different ways of going about releasing that. So, the first way is to just put it out there. Your friends maybe check it out, your family, coworkers, things like that. If you get really, really lucky, maybe it'll get playlisted by someone and then a whole bunch of people listen to it. But unless you have like a plan to just like follow up with something for people to engage with, which is a horrible friggin' word, it kind of dies out after a while, right? Because it's just like they need to be constantly reminded of you. This is why you have some people who just constantly post and it's just like, remember me, because it's actually effective. That part sucks. It's like,
I just want to pause this and take your attention back to the playlist really quick. This is amazing. This is the best playlist ever. Oh shit, what up, homie? Wait, what planet are you from? Oh, Mercury? Neato. Nice to meet you. You are now my alien girlfriend. It's so good. Back to the video.
your second is to create a press plan, to create some kind of marketing plan, some kind of rollout strategy. You will have your complete record. It'll be mastered. All that stuff is done. The next thing you have to do is get your artwork. Then you have to get new band photos. You have to write, update your bio. Maybe even have like a story for the record. Like it has to have a story. It can't just be like, here's a piece of artwork. It has to be like, dude, I got hit by a car and then I saw like a ghost of my dad. And then he said, son, you better write an album and it better be about me. I joke about it, but it's actually really useful to have it because it gives someone something to write about as opposed to just like, hey, this bozo wrote a new record. Go listen. That's not interesting. So So you have a story, you have all that stuff. Then you have to pick your singles, the first 3 or 4 songs that are going to release. Your best 4 songs. You make videos. That's not like you don't have to, but like it's something else to feed the algorithm and that whole content hungry machine. Side note, I should have kind of mentioned this up top, but the way that like Spotify, YouTube, and all these kinds of content sharing machines work is that the more you feed it, the more it gives back, right? So, like Spotify, if you are rolling out music every month, like putting out singles constantly, it actually does a lot better. It does kind of quietly push that sort of stuff ahead. God, Piper really wants to be in this video. So you have your singles and all that stuff ready. So the next thing you have to figure out is your release date. Now, obviously, if you're putting it out yourself, you can put it out whenever you want. But if you're trying to reach the widest audience that you can get by having new people discover you, you really have to kind of do it up to like 6 months in advance. And I'm sure like for bigger artists, it's even higher than that with like labels and stuff like that. But like to even just get people in Bandcamp to like, feature it on their like daily blogs, you have to do it like 3 months in advance. To get Spotify people to listen to it, it has to be like 4 weeks or maybe even longer to just like send it to them so that they can consider it, which, they get like thousands of those a day. So it's not happening. So once you have your release date picked out, then you have to roll out your singles, right? Your first single has to be like 4 months in advance of the album or something like that. So then what you have to do is you have to send to the press people. So you have to write emails, you have to make it personal, you have to tell them the story, you have to tell them about the album, you have to tell them about the single, include easy to download links, streaming, so they can hear the music, see who you are, learn about you, blah, blah, blah. And you have to send it to like 20, 30 people. So 20, 30 personal emails with all this stuff. It can't be cut and paste because they get these things all day long. So like if they feel like you're not putting any effort into it, why should they care, right? And it makes sense. And the point of doing this is that you're asking them to maybe premiere the song or write something like a feature about it. But then this is a process you have to do with each single, right? So you have to write a whole bunch of emails, blah, blah, blah. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of waiting to hear from people that never respond, which is also just kind of, mental, emotional stuff. That kind of hurts. You've been working on something for years and then it just seems like nobody really is interested. Devil's advocate, they're getting like 500 emails a day. And even if you have a great song, it's just probably lost in a sea of emails. So don't feel too bad, bozos. Let's say you're someone like me where you only know maybe 3 or 4 people who have some kind of blog or some kind of music feature site, and you feel really bad and you don't want to constantly hit them up because it just feels like it's not a good feeling, just constantly feeling like you're just taking and hitting up the same people for, I guess, favors or something. So your other option is you hire a publicist, and the publicist does all this for you, and they have a whole list of contacts, and they will write all the emails, they will pitch your music to playlists and to get featured and all this stuff. And the thing about that is it's really expensive. When I heard about this, I never knew, but like I've heard people pay like $1,000 a month for like during the album cycle to have someone just like being your hype man, basically. And that's nuts. Like, I don't even have health insurance, man. Can't be spending $1,000 a month. It's wild. All right, so then let's say you do that, and then you've got the press stuff coming up. Then you book your release shows. You have to book awesome shows to get people to come out to be excited. And that's really hard too, because venues are really hard to get in touch with somehow. Venues are bombarded with emails and show offers, and it's really hard to get them to look at you and to trust that you're actually going to do a good job of promoting and bringing people out, because they do get a lot of people who just be like, hey, let me play a show, and then they'll book the day, and then they won't really promo it, or maybe 5 people come out, and then the venue loses money. They got to pay bartenders, they got to pay the door people, all this stuff, and if only like 5-10 people show up, they lose money, and that's how bars and venues close. So if you end up having a hard time booking a show, but you already have like the press people working, or you're already sent out the emails and you already set your release date and all that stuff, then you might not actually have a release show for your release, which is like, come on, that's no way, dude. No, we're not doing that. So fast forward, you did all your releases, and then the actual release comes out, the album comes out. You either put it out digitally or you did some kind of physical format. So you could either do vinyl, you could do CDs, you can do tapes. And I'll just talk to you really quickly about vinyl. Vinyl is one of the more popular things to like sell at a show or for an audience to purchase. So for my first record, we did a run of 100, and that cost about $2,400 to have created for a run of 100. So that means you have to sell each record at $25 just to basically break even. Doing vinyl could end up just being like an expense that you never recoup if you don't sell all 100. And spoiler, you're not going to sell all because you have to give some away to friends, you have to give away to press people, and it just is what it is. So why are we talking about all this? Why am I wasting your time with this very long video about all this? So we're going to put out a record in spring. We're not going to do a big press thing because at this point, through the cost of recording it, studios, mixing, mastering, getting vinyl, all that stuff, we're about $6,000 to $7,000 deep, and mostly on credit cards. And so clearly there's no more money left. So this is where I'm going to ask you for your help. Yay! And no, I'm not asking for a Kickstarter to recoup. No. I'm not doing that. So the next couple of months, we're going to go into promo mode. And I know that a lot of you are my friends watching at this point, because why would anyone else watch this? And, often friends will be like, oh man, we'd love to help. Like, what do we do? Here's what we do. If you like the music, and only if you like the music, please don't do it if you don't. When it comes out, just share it. Share it with your friends. Create a playlist with all your favorite songs and share it. Tell people about it. If you think someone that you know will like it, send it to them. If you're at a party and you're just like, hey, this would go really good along with like this Madonna song, then throw it on that playlist, sneak it into that, sneak it in, sneak. The more you engage, like if you go on Instagram and you leave a little heart emoji, that shit works. I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'd rather you just listen to the music. But these are the things that like the Mark Zuckerberg is looking for. And more importantly, if you can, come out to our shows. We're going to just play just a few shows for the singles. So hopefully you'll come out to those. We'll tell you about those very soon. So this whole video basically can be summarized as we're going to put stuff out and hopefully you'll listen to it. And if you like it, you'll share it. And therefore, the measure of success that we've placed, which is all of our friends listen to it and they share it, and that's it. Hopefully that happens. Really, that's the only measure of success that we can put on this. We're very pragmatic and realistic here. We're not going to blow up and do stuff like that. And that's not the goal, really. Life's too complicated. Thank you for watching. Support music, support your friend's band, support your friend's artist. Let them know that you're interested if you are. If you're not interested, tell them, please stop. No more. But life's hard. We're all going to do some cool stuff together in 2024. Okay? I'm going to walk over here. That was too long.
Wait, are you still watching? Good, story time. So I watched the first cut of the video and I needed a lot of work, so I decided to go for a walk and I was going to come back and continue it after I cleared my mind. So I went to the park and I saw a hawk and it looked like he was injured. So I caught the hawk and I took a $70 cab up to the Upper West Side to bring him to the Wild Bird Fund. Needless to say, that was the first time in my life where I have caught a wild injured hawk. Look at this guy. Look at that face. I wanted to keep him, but Piper would not be happy. Anyway, donate money to the Wild Bird Fund because they're amazing. Bye.